Alright, before we proceed, I would like to spill some of my thoughts now that we've seen 10 of the characters, which I believe the synopsis did say there will be 10 characters, although I'm pretty sure they're trying to set up for 16, what's going on there. But anyway, if you want to skip this, feel free to. With that quote at the beginning from Van Gogh about the sea, like, I think there was also another throwaway comment about, like, ships. I can't help but think that maybe... I don't think we've confirmed where we are. I mean, they did say mansion, but, like, are you sure about that? Like, we haven't even seen the outside. I mean, I guess there's some kind of sky here. This is the second floor, and it looks like there's some light, but I don't know if that's real or artificial. What's going on there? So yeah, I'm thinking we're out at sea, but I guess I don't know how they'd pull it off. But that's where I'm guessing we are. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if that means like, where we are means anything, but we've experienced pain at the back of the head, and Echo has like a sprain on their left ankle that we haven't acknowledged since the flashback. Makes me think like some time has passed. I don't know how much time, but like it seems to have healed since we haven't acknowledged it. What's going on there? I mean, what's going on? Okay, we'll see. I need to stop saying, oh, what's going on? We will see, right? But just throwing some questions out there and making sure I'm engaging with this. This is always exciting to finally record, like, my first impressions. There are a lot of nature paintings. I keep throwing out, like, superficial observations. I don't know, like, any innocuous thing could mean anything. Like, I don't know, when you go back and then you see these tiny details, they're like, holy, they've been telling us this entire time. So that's why I keep mentioning these random things that probably might not mean anything in the long run, but it's probably just there for decoration. But I don't know, I'm paranoid. I don't think any of us have tried to escape yet at this point, but I think that will be answered soon. Yeah, where are the other seats? I mean, okay, they haven't said there were explicitly 16 students, but they keep setting up 16 students. Like, there were 16 seats at the jazz club, there were 16 seats at the dining hall. I don't know about the living quarters yet. I don't think we confirmed it at this point, but yeah, what's going on? And like the canon games, there's usually 16 per game, so I'm like... Does this... Are the other 6 like masterminds or something? Or is that what we're doing? I don't know. I don't think any of the characters have acknowledged it, so maybe I should leave it alone for now, but... Being a veteran of some sort, I'm a bit paranoid. Okay, so we've been introduced to the bracelet in digital kiosk, which I guess replaces the e-handbooks from the canon games. It's our means of signing in. We seem to be wearing them on different wrists. I mean, I guess that's like whatever. It's like, oh, you're right or left-handed. Like, I don't think people care about that in real life, but like, again, these small things, I'm like, maybe they might become important. Names. Okay, we've confirmed our name is Echo Pine. What about everybody else? I don't know. I mean... first canon game, chapter 3, that was important, so, I'm thinking names could be important, or it could be something that the writer, I don't know how many people worked on this, but maybe that might have been something you played around with. The bracelets give us access to our own rooms. I'm not sure about like borrowing bracelets or like using other people's bracelets. I don't think that's come up yet. I'm guessing there's gonna be murder, but like, it's been peaceful so far, so I'm not sure when the killing game, if the there's got it's Danganronpa. There's got to be a killing game, right? But nothing's come up yet at this point. So preservation project. Not gonna lie, I didn't really think much of it. I don't have any thoughts about it right now because, of course, they're going to spill as the game progresses. So like, I don't think I'll have any thoughts until later when we learn more about it. But ultimate students, maybe it's like cultivating talent or something like that. Like maybe there's an apocalypse happening outside right now, like every other game. Although our main character doesn't seem to know too much about it by the look of it. Like everybody else is like, oh, you know about the preservation project, but like I don't think it really rings a bell with us. So that's terrifying. Alright, and now we've explored the second floor. Cool. Okay, characters. Echo seems to be like every other protagonist. They are usually like insecure, friendly enough. We know Ashley, who seems modest. Honest, the best friend character. A lot of things can happen to the best friend character, like losing them or like having them die would probably like be despair-inducing. Yeah, or maybe they will live to tell a secret that we did not know previously. Or like change their role somehow. We'll see. Best friend character, I can never really tell what's gonna happen to them, but like I think losing them and having them change is gonna be very despair-inducing. So we'll see what happens to Ashley. Art seems overly friendly. Kanon doesn't seem to be putting that she's not having it. Speaking of Kanon, she's a mystery. We still don't know her talent. We only met her for like a couple of seconds. Missy, I don't really have much to say about Missy right now. Sorry. Again, I keep joking that she's the ultimate introvert. I mean, yeah, I guess she seems nice-ish, but I think she's mostly just wants to be alone. So, I think, oh my gosh, if there's free time events in this game, I think I know who I want to go with first. Forte seems very over the top, like I said before. They're giving me like killer vibes. I wouldn't be surprised, but then if they were a killer, like if they got off early game, then yeah, it was a very colourful personality, and to lose that early game would be really Alright, Lyle, I did joke that he's the mastermind, but like I think I don't know. We only just started, so I think it's too early to think that. But Pandora. Okay, I've been looking into like Pandora and like the actual Pandora's box, because I'm like, why is your name Pandora? Like it was a very striking name to me. So I was like looking into that and seeing if that weaved into this story at all, or could potentially weave into the story at all. And like her last name rhymes with despair, so now I'm paranoid. She seems lovely so far, really uplifting, and you know we saw her trying to calm down Forte and Lyle with the finger ring paw, but I'm scared because like should I get into the original story or should I just leave you to look it up? But yeah, I'm scared that she could be like, if you know the original story about Pandora, then you would know that she unleashed evil and ruined paradise for mankind. Or at least that's how the story goes. So I'm like, is that what's going to happen here with Pandora? Alright, so the end of the second floor hall fed directly into a spacious, airy locale. Natural light poured in from the high glass ceiling. The lush trees that framed the circular lobby reached toward the sky, well past the ring of decorative plants that occupied the second floor. Small shrubbery lined the base of the trees in a circular fashion, following and framing the ellipse shape of the room. A well-maintained living wall lined the first floor's fountain. A bronze globe at the very center of the atrium drew the room together. Light and warmth flooded my body, filling me with serenity. Oh! A familiar, excitable voice cut through the air, disturbing that serenity. Dude, check this place out! Dang, wouldn't it be awesome if we had a mini golf set up in here? How cute would that be? Plenty cute. Plenty cute. Sure, whatever. Art and Missy entered the atrium from the foyer stairway entrance. I was surprised to see Missy still hanging out with Art. Well, someone has to keep an eye on that overly excitable person. Along with a timid Sace trailing behind them, no less. Slowly, our populace gathered in the center of the atrium hall. Canon and Forte leisurely made their way in much later than the rest of us, but arrived regardless. I saw all the students I had previously met, but afterwards, no one else came. It's still just the 10 of us. Kind of a tiny class, huh? It's bigger than my Japanese class. There were only 7 of us. Nobody asked for the backstory, but anyway. 10 of us, including myself. No. Art whispered the same observation I made. It was true that our class was rather small, but were we really going to be doing any learning? Did we establish a school? Like, we came from different schools, but did we say that we were like classmates? Well, I already know okay, no, I already forgot the name, but the term used for like interpreting, finding meaning in something that isn't supposed to mean anything. I'll put the word up on screen just in case you're just as lost as I am. Will we? Let's see. I conceded calling group of students a class was only appropriate. Oh, okay, we did not. Okay, so you're just calling it a class. A hologram visual was presented from the centerpiece globe. A familiar voice came in from the overhead speakers. Oh yeah, we don't even know who the mascot is. It's the same announcer from earlier in the dining hall. Still just a voice. This is a special announcement indicating the welcome of all present students. The Preservation Project Group would like to humbly welcome you all to your provided safe house. As you are all aware, this safe house has been sequestered off from the growing concerns of disaster. You need not worry any longer of those concerns here. Disaster? I peered across the room to see expressions of affirmation. Everyone seemed to have relating concerns. I knit my brow. As ultimate students, we've provided you with the best amenities and environments to most efficiently cultivate your skills and talents in utter safety. You may utilize the facilities to the fullest extent during the requisite hours. However, do not think of this simply as a safe house. This location is more than equipped for you to thoroughly indulge yourselves with exquisite experiences. You are invited to enjoy yourselves freely. Welcome all to the Apotheme. Awesome! Art audibly pumped his fist in the air. Although no one else displayed such a loud presentation of excitement, the other students were vividly talking amongst themselves at the prospect of such a blessing regardless. The projection cut out as the announcement concluded. The students began to wander again, likely to try out what the climbing center and spa lounge had to offer. Everyone seemed to be breaking into their own groups while I stood still. I was excited, but a feeling of uncertainty stirred in the depths of my mind, suffocating my enthusiasm. Did I really belong here? As far as I knew, I wasn't an ultimate student. No intense talents, no masterful skills, not even interesting experiences. I started to feel sick with anxiety. Hey Echo, I'm going to the spa with Pandora. Would you like to join us? I was just there with you like a couple minutes ago at this point. I mean, if you caught my rant out. Ashley's voice brought me out of my thoughts. No thanks. You two go on ahead. I'm actually feeling a little tired from all the running around. I think I'll just take a nap. Ashley looked at me with silent, understanding eyes. Alright then. If you change your mind, you know where to find us. She gave me another quick hug before pairing off with Pandora. Ash, why didn't you tell me about your talent? Oh, I muttered under my breath before sulking off. I trudged down the stairs back to the first floor foyer. There, I saw Kanon in almost the same position she was in when I first met her. She didn't tell me if she had an ultimate title when we introduced ourselves. Perhaps she doesn't have one either? I thought about approaching her to ask, but my throat felt dry. I didn't feel like being disappointed in the case she did have an ultimate talent. I quickly turned the corner before Kanon could notice me when I heard the sound of a shutter clicking. Turning at the sound, I saw Kanon developing a picture from an instant camera. Ultimate photographer again? Okay, no. Where'd you get that though? How do you have a camera? What do you mean, how? I just thought we were disallowed our personal possessions. I didn't have anything in my room, and when I asked Ash, she said she didn't have anything in her room either. I'm a photographer. I need my tools, don't I? So, are you the ultimate photographer? Kanon didn't reply. She just bowed her head once in a slight nod. Oh, okay. Never mind, we're the mystery talents then. Then that picture you just took. She reluctantly handed me the developed photo. Is that gonna be my alibi for murder? Her photo captured the moment I had begun to turn around the hall to avoid speaking to her. I thought she hadn't noticed me. Uh-oh. This is... I know what you're thinking. It's a horrible picture of you. I know it is. Because this is not a picture of you, per se. Oh, confused, I stared at the photo longer. Yes, I'm not a portrait photographer. I specialize in a composition form called Rückenfigure, which translates literally to back figure in German. I don't expect you to understand. I listlessly handed the photo back to her. That's interesting. Kanon silently took the photo and stuck it in her pocket before occupying herself with her camera once more. But I admit, I didn't make an attempt to sound enthused. In truth, I wasn't. Kanon did have an ultimate talent after all. If that was the case, what was I doing here? hearts and mine were racing. Am I just an anomaly? Is this all a mistake? Did I accidentally take the spot an actual ultimate student was meant to take? It's not like you came here willingly, I don't think. Hey. Voice groped in desperation. This lavish mansion was meant to protect ultimate students. Students and their wide-reaching influential skills. Students who were dexterous masters of their craft. Oh yeah, totally. Those students whose charismatic aura reassured my averageness. Students who created nostalgia-inducing delights. Students who won races upon races with pure skill. Repulsion rose in my stomach. I felt my breath shorten, my chest tighten. Suddenly, I felt weak. Oh my gosh. What's wrong with you? I barely heard Kanon. I leapt for the front door. I needed to evacuate myself from the overbearing presence of the people who accomplished near impossible feats at such a young age. I was an insignificant bug who wandered into a lion's den. I can't compete. I don't belong here. I grasped the door so tightly I saw my knuckles turn white. But soon... Ah! I only saw black. Did someone tase me? Hello? Oh, we're back here. I wearily opened my eyes. I was in bed, back in my personal room. Or at least the... Wait, did the painting change? I swear the painting changed. It was a or like some sort of field before. What the heck is this? So I thought. Okay, we're acknowledging it. Oh, hello. Forte was reclining in a Lapse. Why'd you describe it like that? At the corner of his room, combing over what looked like sheets of music. I was in Forte's room. You're awake. He set the leaflet down before approaching me with an offering of water. Oh, okay, nice. I graciously accepted the cup and gathered my thoughts while I do that too. Oh. My right hand was tingling. After gaining my composure, I managed to croak out a question. Forte, what happened to me? Curious. That's what I would like to know. Huh? What do you mean? Bro, what? Well, after the welcome announcement, I inspected the jazz club, but was quickly uninterested in the venue. Oh, that's a shame. I went downstairs to retreat to my personal quarters for the afternoon, but was promptly stopped by the foot of the stairs by Kanon. She said you collapsed at the foot of the foyer's front doors. Kanon told me to keep an eye on you and quickly left. I scoffed. How considerate of her to have someone else take care of me. But why you collapsed, she did not say. It came back to me. I wasn't behaving clearly. Yeah, I remember now. I was talking to Kanon in the foyer, but I felt a need to escape and was electrocuted when I grabbed the foyer door handle. Oh my gosh, is it? Okay, I don't think we can get out of here. Electrocuted? Forte was appalled. I, on the other hand, felt nothing. I took another sip of water and I closed my eyes. I felt wildly fatigued. Forte looked at me with a concerned silence for a minute. Echo, it might not be my place to say, but you shouldn't feel a need to escape. We're all being generously treated with a safe location to relax in, away from the danger. What danger? What do I not know? You don't understand. I don't have ultimate talent like the rest of you. My head drooped in shame, regret, humiliation. I don't have any skills or talents to offer the world. He fell silent again. Be that as you may, you still are a peer who shouldn't feel outcast from the rest of the group. You must be with us for a reason. You're so nice. Why is everybody nice? I gazed into the water cup, blankly. Come, the rest of the group is in the dining hall. I believe they are just starting dinner. Oh, wow, I was knocked out for that long. Forte placed a firm hand on my shoulder before offering his hand to help me out of bed. I complied quietly. The dining hall was fully occupied by our small class. Hey, there you are! Art waved at me from the end of the table as I entered the dining hall, causing everyone's heads to turn. Ashley and Pandora quickly ran to my side. What happened to you? Are you okay? Folks, please, allow Echo to have a seat before bombarding any questions. The rest of the class paused their dinner as Forte helped me to an open seat by Ashley. Connell wasn't at the table. Rather, she was standing next to the entryway. She must have noticed me looking at her and turned away once more. Before I could confront her about what happened in the foyer, Missy placed a pork cutlet meal before me. Why is everybody so nice? Are we not gonna... Ashley wouldn't stop fretting in concerns to your well-being, so I took the liberty of getting a meal ready for you whenever you decided to come down. It's just what I needed. How did you know? I didn't. Perhaps I was just lucky. Missy shrugged indifferently, but I saw her mouth turn into a small grin. She seemed satisfied with having pleased me. I gave her a small smile back and helped myself to a small portion to regain my energy. Our little community had dinner together. Conversation lightly touched to everyone's mutual awareness of the preservation project. It was a project in which ultimate students who signed up would be placed under protective custody to preserve their skills to benefit the future. Similar stories of talent discovery arose. Certain students grew up in an environment where all they knew was that particular skill, yet they still rose to super excel beyond wildest expectations. I, of course, had no place in the dialogue. I paid no specific attention to the chatter, my mind going blank with white noise whenever the topic of ultimate talents came up. As we finished our meals, Missy and Cyrus offered to pick up the dishes as everyone else restlessly waited to hear what had happened to me. You have no idea how worried I was. Ashley was holding my hand tightly. Ash, if you're feeling up to it, would you mind talking about what happened? I glanced over at Kanon next to the entryway. Her face was an iron mask. Well, I was feeling tired from running around the mansion exploring, so after the welcome announcement in the second floor atrium, I decided to go back to my personal room for a nap. Going down to the foyer, I was curious about the front door. I wanted to go outside, so naturally I grabbed the door handle, but was electrocuted by it. Forte found me collapsed and carried me back to his room to rest. You were electrocuted by the door handle? Perhaps we should investigate. And get electrocuted ourselves? Of course not. I simply want to inspect the door handle for any suspicious mechanisms. We should also check the floor maps again to see if there are any other similarly rigged exits. And what would this accomplish? It would ensure our safety so that nothing like this happens again. But our safety as ultimate students in the Preservation Project safe house has already been compromised by the existence of such a trap. Oh, whoa! I did not see. Looks serious. The group fell silent. Cyrus was right. It seemed as if we had already fallen into some kind of trap the moment we woke. So we're just going to do nothing? Oh, so we're just going to do nothing? Kanon's indifferent voice broke the silence. Kanon's right. We shouldn't sit idly by our friend Echo. We shouldn't sit idly by after our friend Echo was put in danger. We ought to investigate, if not as an insurance measure, but to get to the bottom of the trap that caused such harm. The group agreed and went their separate ways to search for clues. But before anyone could get very far, an announcement rang in. It is now 9 p.m. Nighttime will begin at 10 p.m. Facilities will be closed until 7 a.m. the next morning. Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. It seems like we'll just have to suspend the investigation until tomorrow. There's no use in wandering around aimlessly in the dark. I suggest you all rest up. I realize the situation is dire, but please do your best to save your energy for tomorrow. Sounds like a plan. We shall meet here tomorrow morning for breakfast and discussion. It's on the first day, huh? One by one, everyone filtered out the dining hall, low concerned murmurs filling the corridors. Ashley stopped me back in the dining hall as the last few left. Look, Echo, I'm sorry if you felt hurt that I didn't tell you about my talent. Did you hear me? How did you know? I'm your best friend, aren't I? I can tell when you're distraught. It was after that special welcome announcement I noticed you were off. It must have been difficult feeling like you don't belong. I admit, it's all been awfully overwhelming. I never meant to keep it from you. It's just, I feel like being involved with me could only ever cause trouble. You have a backstory. What's happening? Hello? Not the horse racing aspect, but the ultimate student status aspect. To get tied up with such intense people could only amount to ultimate levels of trouble. Ash, you know I'm your friend through and through. I don't think being friends with Ashley Westbridge, Horse Girl, is any trouble at all. Ashley giggled. I love you, Echo. You really are a good friend. Of course. I love you too. We made our way back to the living quarters hall and said our goodnights. Before entering my room, I saw Art and Lyle lingering in the halls. Hey, you two, is something wrong? No, in fact, we're having a strategy meeting. Strategy meeting? Art asked me if perhaps our being locked in a mansion situation is a big puzzle. Think about it! Escape rooms exist, so maybe this mansion is just one giant escape room! I admit, it's not impossible, and it does sound interesting. Right? So, what do you think? I'm not sure yet. I have a feeling it's some convoluted ARG scheme. ARG? Alternate reality game. It's the type of game that is interacted with through different media experiences, whether it be online or in real life. Tasks range from decrypting audio logs on a website to doing something odd like cleaning up local cemetery. I see. Given those examples, it's plausible that defuse an electrocuting door could be added to that list of tasks, right? Well, they're typically employed to the public to boost attention for a product. What the product is in our scenario, I'm not certain. And if this is an IRG, there must be a puppet master that's setting these things up. much like an escape room's game master. An escape room and ARG sound pretty similar in terms of involvement and puzzle solving. I suppose they're not entirely different entities. Wow, you've got it all figured out already! Puzzles are my strong suit. I said goodnight and left Art and Lyle to conclude their strategy meeting as I returned to my personal room. I felt the mental and physical exhaustion hit me all at once as I let myself collapse onto the bed. To think I'd be stuck in a luxury mansion with super talented students. My life before this moment had hardly been as eventful as this single day. I lived a rather average life with as little trouble one could hope for. It was almost utopian in a sense. I never thought it boring or repetitive. It was like my mundane life caused me to be a little more worrisome than any other person. Likely as a will to keep everything the same going forward. However, this strange situation threw me in a state of disarray. I was wholly out of my element. Above all, I couldn't help but feel guilty for making Ashley worry. Whatever it is I found myself in, I clearly didn't have a place. I sighed heavily. I should get some proper rest. The room was mysteriously fixed with a few sets of my clothing in the closet of the personal bathroom. I let my body relax under the repetitious rhythm of a warm shower. Crawling under the weighty covers, I turned down the lights and let my eyes slowly drift closed. Tomorrow, what are we going to discover? I opened my eyes at the sound of the alarm. In my personal room, I sat up from bed and took in the surroundings. So, the events of yesterday weren't part of some kind of strange dream. My personal room that I initially thought was luxurious and comfortable now felt oppressive. It wasn't mine. It couldn't be, since this mansion we found ourselves in was for ultimate students. I was reminded of my mediocrity and let my head fall back on the pillow. I don't want to see everyone. I grumbled and drew the covers over my head, uselessly trying to will away the shame of yesterday. Lou. I heard Ashley's muffled voice through the door. Good morning, Echo. Just coming to check on you. Just give me a minute. I'll be right out. After getting properly dressed, I met Ashley outside my door in the living quarters hallway. Good morning, Ash. We walked casually down the hall to the foyer. You sleep alright last night? Yeah, I slept alright, considering. I hope you're not feeling too down about this whole situation. I'm still coming to terms with it, but I'm feeling a little better after getting rest. Besides, everyone has been really nice. Well, that's good to hear. You've always been good at bouncing back. In the foyer, we were met with two other students loitering outside the dining hall. Sorry, I'm not a morning person. Neither am I, but I'm really curious about the door. The door seems scary. Good morning, Lyle. Good morning. Let's investigate to our best ability, yeah? Oh. You seem better, Echo. Nothing a good night's rest can't take care of. True that. Good morning. It's weird. I'd be having dinner right about now, but I'm waking up instead. What time is it? What do you mean? One of my watches is set to my hometown time, and it says it's 7:30 p.m. Sunday, 6th of December. 7:43. $7:43 p.m. It's a 12-hour difference from now. Oh, the date checks out. I was just thinking that the winter solstice will be coming up in about 2 weeks or so. Assuming we're somewhere westward from today's date, today would be Saturday. Somewhere westward. I guess since we're all from different places, the time for certain people would be a little different, but 12 hours? Oh wait, I guess we never established if we're from the same country or not. That might explain why there are Japanese names in here. Even so, all our alarms were set to the same current time, so we'd eventually end up on a uniform schedule, right? Yeah, I'm recovering from jet lag. A bit unfortunate for those with larger time differences, though. Winter. It's too cold. But the New Year's fun. In the dining hall, the familiar warm aroma of fresh bread wafted through the room, my senses swathed in comfort. Pandora! Oh, it's been 3 hours. She wakes up at 4:30, doesn't she? Pandora placed a basket filled to the brim with freshly baked delicacies at the center of the dining table. Good morning, you two. You've been working hard, huh? Of course, I had to get an early start if I wanted to indulge you all with some treats to begin the morning. I felt the sweet and savory fragrances seep into my body, the warmth of a sun-kissed, dewdrop-covered morning. The smell alone was sublime. Oh. Such a lovely setting. Yeah, I would almost be ashamed to eat it. Almost. Wouldn't we be doing Pandora justice if we didn't enjoy it? Oh, you're too kind. Help yourself. That's alright. We'll wait for the others. I sat at the dining table with Ashley and waited patiently for the rest of the class to arrive. The rest of the class filtered in and we began to help ourselves to Pandora's treats, as well as beverages provided by the automated menu. After we settled in, Missy stood at the head of the dining table to begin the discussion. Good morning all. I trust you all had a good night's rest. Our topic this morning will consist primarily of the problematic nature of the foyer's front doors. We will also be investigating the rest of the mansion for any other exits that might have a similar mechanism keeping us from going outside. You may split into groups or investigate as individuals, but if you find anything at all, please utilize the digital kiosk found in the room you're in to relay a message. Ooh, more functions. Relay a message? The digital kiosk can do that? Yes, I discovered it with Cyrus before we retired to our rooms last night. As it turns out, the digital screens are not just for displaying maps or the specified function it provides in its resident home. It functions as a remote messaging system between all the digital kiosks in the mansion. For example, it can be used to communicate between the first floor to the second floor, and we can assume further floors as we gain access to them. It's a rather rudimentary feature though. One would scan their bracelet on all screens across the mansion to unlock the feature and type using the on-screen keyboard. You cannot send to specific recipients, however. Once you complete and send the message, it will show up on the screen for about 2 minutes before deleting itself. Right. And for the most part, the messaging system is used to translate the voice announcements to text for those who are hard of hearing. Oh, what? We have to hear it? The mansion truly is an all-encompassing in its endeavours to accommodate all. And that is precisely why we must investigate the reason the mansion itself would cause its residents harm. Whoa, that's a lot to process. The group unanimously agreed. The meeting concluded as we finished breakfast. Everyone decided to split up and search one room themselves. Where are we going? We'll see it in action, that's why I haven't really said anything. I'm sure we'll see it in action. While I was still deciding where to go, Lyle approached me. Oh, hello. We're seeing you a lot. Hey, Echo. Would you mind coming with me to investigate the foyer doors for a moment? Alright. Why me, though? Because you were the one who experienced the shock firsthand. I was wondering if we could go back and retrace your steps to find clues along the way. I guess we could, but in all honesty, there's not a lot to retrace, I don't think. Nonsense! There's no harm in a second look with a fresh pair of eyes, yeah? You might see something different this time round. Sure. Alright, here we are. In the foyer, Misty was already doing her own investigating, intensely staring at the walls. So, what exactly were you doing yesterday? Having an existential crisis? I thought carefully about what I was going to say. I didn't want to tell anyone that I had been worrying about not having a talent, which led to my reaching off the door handle in the first place. Oh yeah. I thought I'd be an outcast if others knew I wanted to run away. After the welcome announcement, I was feeling a little tired from running around earlier that day, so I went back downstairs to my personal room. And like I said at dinner last night, in passing, I was curious about the door and wanted to go outside. Is that so absurd a reason to want to reach for the door? Whoa, no need to get defensive. I was just wondering if you saw anything suspicious along the way. Suspicious. Kanon immediately came to mind. Forte said she has left me a collapse for him to take care of. Why did she flee after I collapsed? I can't really think of anything at the moment. I guess I'll have to dig a little deeper in the scene of the crime. Thanks, Echo. I'll investigate on my own from here. I don't know if I helped all that much, but you're welcome. Lyle went over to the door and inspected the surroundings, carefully tracing the paneling for any hidden mechanisms. In the meanwhile, I was curious. I wondered if Forte could help me figure out what went on with Connell's disappearing act. Where is he? Forte was, unsurprisingly, in the theatre, inspecting the backstage area. Hello, Echo. Doing well, I hope. A little worried about the electrocuting door, but fine otherwise. Excellent. I wish for you to keep your spirits high despite the scare. Should you need any assistance, I shall offer my services. Yeah, about that. I wanted to ask you about yesterday. I thought you might want to know more. However, the truth is as so. What I told you yesterday is all the information I have. I see. I admit, I didn't expect much more than what he told me. The story seems straightforward enough, especially considering the emergency. Maybe you could tell me if you noticed anything odd? Forte paused. I suppose there was the trifling fact that Kanon fled up to the second floor right away. It's strange. Had I been so startled by such an event, I might have retreated back to my quarters on the first floor instead. Upstairs, huh? Other than Kanon fleeing the scene, I can't particularly think of anything to note. I suppose the whole ordeal was quite frightening. Oh, I'm sorry, Echo. I know it's a dire situation, but honestly, I'm not particularly equipped for this sort of thing. The mental hoops and note-taking required of an investigation are too overwhelming. It's okay. I appreciate the thought. And actually, that little tidbit helps. Does it now? Bravo for figuring something out. Bravo. Oh, come on. You've got some explaining to do, although you're probably just going to run away again. Well, I made my way through the foyer, past an intensely focused Lyle and Missy, and up the stairs to the second floor. At the top of the stairs, I saw the digital kiosk laying up, displaying a message on screen. Oh, okay, yeah, because each bracelet has names. Okay. But did they type it? Oh, not type it. Hi, climbing center. Did he type climbing center, or is that where the digital kiosk he used? It's certainly working. I paid no further attention to the message and continued on. Where could she be? I toured down the hall past the jazz club, climbing center, and spa. However, my search came up short. Okay. Maybe she's in a room? Never mind. Maybe there's something curious up here. Upon entering the atrium, I saw her sitting by her lonesome in the center. Okay, never mind. Hello, come on. But before I could confront her again, a ringing sound played and an announcement followed. It is now 9 a.m. of the second day. Please make your way to the second floor atrium for a special announcement. Ugh, what now? The few students that were already on the second floor made their way over quickly. Ashley, Art, and Cyrus. Hey, did you all see my message? Yes. Hello, right back at you. Cool, it works! Well, at least we discovered something from Art's lurking around. The rest of the students from downstairs arrived shortly after. Lyle, Missy, Forte, Say, and Pandora. Now what could this be? Maybe some third floor opened up? That might prove helpful. I haven't found much on my end. Whatever it is, can't they just use the message system thing instead of making us walk all the way up here? With all students gathered in the atrium once again, the bronze globe projected an emblem. But this emblem was different. Ooh. And the voice that announced the following was different. Oh, what? I don't know what to give it, so welcome. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you've been enjoying your special vacation away from it all. This voice was more high energy, like some sort of radio host or sports announcer. Okay, I got it. Okay, cool. Excellent. This is an extra special announcement for the students with us today. You've been cordially invited to play a heart-pounding, soul-searching, excitement-inducing game. A game. That's right, a game. And not just any game. This is the beyond universal, glamorously popular game that many students like yourselves get the privilege to play. Why, yes, it's the mutual killing game. Mutual killing game? Ah, the mutual killing game. A game of hope and despair. A game of allies and betrayal. A game of cause and consequence. It's all so thrilling. Yes, indeed. You all are gathered here today by your own volition to participate in the festivities. To sign up for the Preservation Project is to sign yourself to the exclusive game of life and death itself. Upon hearing that detail, I saw the other student's face go pale with shock. We were all thought to be gathered in a place of safety. That idea was apparently a farce. What the hell is happening? My cry was futile. The announcement was completely automated, and the horrible things it was saying didn't stop. This delightful game will take place over 7 days in the very halls you explored just a few days ago. Just a day ago, oh my god. Wow. If you would like to leave earlier, then follow this one very simple rule. Kill a fellow student without getting caught. Trying to leave by any other means will result in consequences, as some of you may have learned firsthand from a little jolt of discovery. Although I can't see why you would want to leave anyway, inside you have all sorts of lovely accommodating amenities. Live a luxurious life within these wonderful walls. That is, if you can survive. If you kill without getting caught, the ultimate prize, an amazing prize befitting an ultimate student, awaits the victor. I know, it's a lot of information to take in at once. We will allow you to absorb this information for the remainder of the day, so please relax in the spa lounge. Go climbing! But tomorrow, the real fun will begin. The announcement ended on one final disgusting note before cutting out. The class was in absolute shock. No way. It can't be. What is this? Sick, twisted joke is what it is. Everyone was murmuring amongst themselves. There isn't anyone who would take that dreadful announcement seriously, is there? Pandora voiced the question at the back of everyone's mind. How good one? It's merely an awful jest. There's no way any of us could commit such an act against friends. Who said we were friends? Uh-oh. First killer fight? Hello? Huh? Who knows? Maybe one of you is the puppet master running this shtick. How do we know it's not you? It's turning out to be more interesting than that diffusing electrocuting door puzzle. This ARG is fun. Whoa, what on earth are you talking about? You think this is a game? What else could I be talking about? I'm the ultimate puzzle master. Being a participant here is simply a test on my skill. I'll figure this puzzle out yet, don't worry. The rest of us were paralyzed in the atrium. The immense gravity of the situation was oppressive. No one said a word. Eyes were anxiously darting around the room to see who took the announcement seriously and who didn't. To think, just this morning we were having a communal breakfast. The atmosphere was unbearably heavy. I stood there in cold sweat. I was dumbfounded. It was a killing game, specifically targeting ultimate students. It was selfish to think of this during a moment when all our lives were potentially in danger, but I really didn't belong here. Okay, Mithridates. I don't know if that's how you say it. Oh, whoa! Should I talk to him? Whoa, okay. Yeah. 436. 0? I don't know what to say right now. Whoa! You look good! Oh, okay. Chair. Oh my gosh, so much text. Did you hide spoilers in the intro too? You may now view the student roster from the main menu. Okay, cool. Well, undeterred by the horrifying announcement, Lyle left the atrium in an almost giddy manner. A smirk painted his face in a stark contrast to our own astonished expressions. Oh my god, he's giving killer vibes. What the fuck? He probably won't, if that's my first thought. We're stuck in this weird luxury mansion for 7 days. We have a time limit too. Interesting. What's 7 days anyway? It shouldn't be too hard not to kill anyone during that time, right? We've made it this far. It's only been a day. Did that day count? Oh, never mind. Art chuckled nervously, but the fact that such an inexplicable requirement like that existed in the first place was difficult to come to terms with. One very simple rule: kill a fellow student without getting caught. What kind of awful rule was that? Please don't joke about the matter. Don't lose your head so hastily. I noticed the announcement rules didn't outright state that was necessarily needed to kill anyone to begin with. Perhaps Lyle was onto something regarding the ARG angle. Besides, the risk isn't nearly pressing enough to encourage such drastic action. Despite the loophole Missy mentioned, the pressure of a killing game being presented loomed over us, crushing whatever sense of comfort we initially had. There's no use for us to be glaring at each other in silence. We ought to continue the mansion investigation. Missy shook off the terrible feeling and went on her way to search once more. Investigate? How could she ask such a thing after something so scary just happened? Being able to stay composed at a time like this, Missy isn't easily shaken, Which is nothing to say about Lyle, who's excited. With nothing left to do, we departed from the atrium. But the voice continued to haunt me as I left the room behind. What the... Oh, that awful cackle rang in my ears, filling me with dread. Upon leaving the atrium, the others dissolved into their own disoriented thoughts. With the foyer door barring any chance of exit, all we could do was wait. Wait. All we could do was wait for tomorrow. Wherein tomorrow the real fun will begin. The so-called game with an odd emphasis on ultimate students. What horrible thing could possibly be in store for us? I felt like I was being suffocated by the decorated walls and furniture, the decorated students and their achievements. What have I gotten myself into? I followed close to Ashley as we drifted away from the atrium, dragging my feet through the hallways. Echo, are you okay? I don't know. Some announcement, huh? Yeah, I'm still reeling from being surrounded by students with super talents. Honestly, I'm just really worried about you. Me? Yeah, the whole killing game seems to center around the ultimate title stuff, so I hope you're not dragged into it. Echo, you don't need to worry about me. I'm a lot tougher than you think. I've fallen off my horse more times than I can count, but I can just get back up and get back in the saddle. I can't help it. It might be a fluke or some kind of cruel joke, but what if it's not? Sorry, I know there's no use making myself sick with worry. don't fret about that. It makes sense. This strange situation would make anyone nervous. But... look, I'm not going anywhere. If anything happens to me, I'm not going down without a fight. And you're my best friend. I don't think being friends with a warrior is any trouble at all. Ashley tried to reassure me multiple times that she wasn't going to get wrapped up in this absurd killing game, but... despite her stubbornness, my heart sank further and further into darkness. Knowing such a game was thrusted upon us in the first place was too awful to bear. I didn't want Ashley to reassure me that she wasn't going to die. I wanted to hear that the killing game wasn't real at all. Ash, would you mind if I had some time alone? I'm still feeling overwhelmed. Of course, I understand. In that case, I'll take some time to explore the mansion a little more. I'll always be around if you need anything. Take care, Echo. Ashley departed for the study and I went back to my personal room. It was all too much. I threw myself on the bed and let my body slowly sink into the comforter as I sank into my thoughts. I went over the events of this supposed vacation in my head. I woke up in an unknown room with nothing in my possession, and in a panic threw the door open to find my best friend, Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate... Oh, why are we doing this? Well, jockey, but I'm wondering if any wrong answers would contribute. Let's see what we say with the question. I'm gonna try the wrong answers. Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate equestrian? No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, okay, then making us pick the right answer. That's right. She's the ultimate jockey. Supposedly won 84% of her races, whatever that meant. Regardless, she neglected to tell me of such a thing during our friendship. Ashley and I teamed up to explore what we discovered to be a mansion. After meeting a handful of students, we discovered 9 out of 10 of them had something called an ultimate talent. There was someone who doesn't have one. Alright, well... Yeah! What the hell is ultimate charisma? Hang on! Cyrus said he's the ultimate charisma, or whatever that means. Oh, fine. Okay. Yep. Within our group, I discovered I was the only one without some sort of ultimate talent. Oh well. I wanted to speculate that perhaps I had no memory of such a thing, but in all honesty, I wasn't even able to list any interesting memories pertaining to an ultimate talent. I was in a state of disarray. After being overwhelmed by the intense talent everyone encompassed, I felt an urge to escape. I ran to the foyer's main doors and was electrocuted. I was showing the right way out, sure. That's right. Upon grabbing the door handle, a shock was sent through me, causing me to pass out. I lost consciousness and woke up some time later in Forte's room. After the shock, the rest of the students became concerned. Our group split up the next morning and searched the mansion for any signs of a trap. In the middle of the search, we were summoned to the second floor atrium. Then we heard some horrific news. We're part of a killing game. That's right. A strange announcement informed us we were to be trapped here for 7 days, and the means of escape was to kill someone. Not to mention that the real fun will begin tomorrow. It was all so strange, almost unreal. No, I just wished it were unreal. I just wanted to go back home. I wanted to go back to the comfort of complacency and knowing my place. It's not real, it's not real, it's not real! Before I knew it, I had fallen asleep, lost in my thoughts.